Hello guys, welcome back. So in today's video, we are going to tackle about SQL aggregation. We are going to start from the basic concept of SQL aggregation to the advanced concept of SQL aggregation. So we're going to use table, this table with the help of these 10 questions to solve or to learn the SQL aggregation concept of functions. So these are some of the SQL aggregation concepts that we're going to use to tackle some of these questions. So if you're new in this video, in this channel, kindly subscribe, like, comment. It really gives me motivation to make more and more video so that as we learn SQL. So let's get started. So our first question is asking total amount of all orders. So we are finding the total amount of all orders. So total amount we're simply going to use the sum function. So we're going to select sum, then we are finding total amount. So we can call this total amount. Total amount from our table name is int orders. So if you run this one and get the total amount is 9960. So we've used one of the SQL aggregation function, which is sum. So sum, it has helped us to calculate the total amount. So let's proceed to the second question. Second question is asking to find average order amount per customer. Average order amount per customer. Average order amount per customer. So we're going to, so we are finding average, so average order amount per customer. Therefore, select the customer that will run this. So we are finding the customer average amount per customer. Therefore, going to write cost ID, and then we can to use average. So this is the symbol for average. So we are finding average amount as, so we can call it this average order. And then we're going to group by customer ID because we are finding the average amount per customer. Therefore, we'll have to aggregate. Therefore, we'll have to group by customer into use group by cost ID. Cost ID. So if you run this one, so you can see customer ID 4, average amount is this one, customer ID 6, average amount is this one, and customer ID 7, this one, customer ID 9, 600. So we first of all selected the customer column, and then we find the average amount, and then we've aggregated all average amount per customer. All average amount per customer. So for example, customer, let's say customer 6, customer ID 6. So I've taken all average amount of customer ID 6. So I've grouped by customer ID. So I've selected the customer ID and their respective average amount, and then I've grouped the customer ID. Our next question is number of orders per customer. So this one we're going to count the number of order per customer. They have a salesperson. Therefore, we're going to write select sales. Let me just run the original so that I can see the sales. So salesperson ID, salesperson ID, salesperson ID, and then so we are counting the number of orders. Count. So this one can just put star. So we are counting the number of orders. So we can just write order number, order number, as order number as total order. Total orders from our table, and then we're going to group by salesperson because we are finding the count per we are finding the total orders per hours. Therefore, we'll have to group by sales person ID. And if we run this, so you can see sales ID 1, he only orders, his or her total order only 1. This one, sales person ID 2, he orders, he has a total orders of 2. Person ID, salesperson ID 7, he has, and so far. So let's look for another question. Maximum order per customer. Maximum order per customer. Maximum order per customer, we're going to write select cost ID, and then we're going to use the maximum amount, the maximum function, max amount as maximum order. So our table is 8. And then we group by cost ID. Then we execute. So you can see customer ID 4, maximum, his or her maximum order was this one, and so forth. minimum order per salesperson. This one we can also just copy this one, and then so this one is for sales person ID. Then mean, so mean is for minimum, and then we will group by salesperson ID. Salesperson ID. And then we run this one. So I can say this is the sales minimum, no, sales minimum amount, minimum sales minimum, no, minimum order amount. Yeah, so we find the minimum amount. So for example, customer ID 6, he had two orders, this one and this one. So the minimum order for customer ID 6 is this one, and the maximum order for customer ID 6 is this one. So the minimum amount for customer ID 6 will be this one. So let's run so that you can confirm. Yeah, the minimum of salesperson. Yeah, salesperson. Let's take this one, salesperson ID 7. The minimum is 450 and the maximum is 1320. So let's just take an example for that one. And then we execute. So you see, for sales ID 7, you can see it's 450. So now let's proceed to the sales amount per year per month. So this one will have to extract year from the orders table, from the orders date. We'll have to extract year. We'll have to extract year and month, and then we group by. And then we group by, and so that you can get the sales amount. We'll have to extract year, month, and then we find total sales amount, and then we group by year and month. So let's just do select. So for us to show the function for extracting year, just write year, and then we are extracting year from order date, order date as or order order year, and then comma, and then we are extracting month, and we're extracting it from order date as order month, and then we calculate the total amounts, which is sum amount as total sales amount from our table, which is this one. And then we're going to group by, we're going to group 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 by this year. Going to group by year, and we're going to group by the month that we've extracted. And then we can order by the year, order by year, and month. So if you run this one, we can get months. Order months. Order month was supposed to be month. So if you run this one, yeah, so you can see the year 2020, 2021, the order. This is July, August, and so on. And then these are the total amount for the year 2020, July. This is the total amount 2021, August. This is the total amount, and so on. Another question is question number 7. Customer with total amount greater than 2000. So this one will customer with total amount greater than, so we'll have to find customers and their respective total amount, and then we're going to use a filter function to filter only the customer with total amount greater than 2000. Therefore, we're going to write select cast ID, and then total amount is some amount as total amounts from our table. From our table int orders. So we're going to group by the customer ID, group by custom. So if you run this one will give us the customer with their respective total. Yeah, so this one you can see the customer with their respective total amount. Therefore, our question is find customer with total order amount greater than 200. Therefore, we're going to use a function called having. Having will filter this aggregation. So having some amount greater than 2000. So if you run this, we will only going to remain with total sum greater than 2000. So these are the total sum greater than 2000 and their respective customers. Another question is average order per sales person. Average order amount per salesperson only with. So this one will have to find the the salesperson with their respective amount, and then we're going to use having to filter only the salesperson having an average of like greater than 500. So that one you can just copy paste this one. So now we are dealing with sales person, salesperson ID, and then we are finding the average amount, average amount, and then we group by salesperson ID, salesperson ID. So if you run this one, this one will give us the salesperson and their respective average amount. Therefore, we're going to filter only the average amount greater than 500. So we can filter greater than 500. So if you run this one will give you the sales person having average amount greater than 500. So another question is asking running total order amounts by order dates. So this one will, let's run the original table. Running total of orders amount by order dates. So this one, and right select, so you can decide to order number, then order of the dates, and then amount, and then sum amount over. So this one will have to use what we call window function. Put that by order dates, and then going to add another rows between unbounded, preceding, and current row, and then we call this one as current row pop-up. and we call this one as Rani total from our table. Our table name is this int, and then we can order by order date. So if you run this one, press CD. If we run this one, order date, you run this, so you can see in 2020 the total amount was this, and it increases by 1250. So 750, if you add with 1250, it will give you this, and then you have this one. In 2021 it increases by, so if you add 2000 with the 2022 amount, that will give you the 5200, and then if you add 5200 with 890, it will give you the, so you can see the total, the running total amount keeps on increasing as the dates keep on increasing. Yeah, so this is the how to find the total running. So this one will give you the total amount as the dates keep on moving. And then our last question is find rank salesperson by total sales amount. Highest to first. So this one can just write select sales person ID, and then we want to, so we can find the total amount as total amount, then comma, and then we rank this one, rank over order by some amount, and we are ordering it from descending, then as sales rank from our orders table, from our table which is int, and then we group by sales person ID, and then we can run this order by sales sales rank. So if you run this one, so you can see it has given us the rank from the largest, from the salesperson who earned the largest total amount to the salesperson who earned the least total amount. So you can see it has given us the rank. So if you found this video helpful, kindly subscribe, comment on the topic that you want us to cover, and let me in the next section.